Dr. Roe.
Thank you, Chairman. And for full disclosure, an electronic medical record made me a congressman. We instituted that in our medical practice, one of the most difficult things I did. So I appreciate your pain of trying to make this work. But having said that, I know Ms. Melvin said that she and you all were committed to a vertical electronic health record. Well, I was always committed to dunking a basketball, but I could never do it. Commitment didn't mean I would actually get there. And I think that's what concerns me now is that here we are starting in 1999. I've been on the Veterans Affairs Committee 4 years. This is my 5th year on here. We started having this discussion, and Mr. Walsh was there, and the chairman was here, the ranking member was here. I asked this question about 3 or 4 years ago. I said, in 10 years, are we going to be still sitting here talking about something we talked about for the last 10 years and spent billions of dollars and didn't do? And remember, when you're looking at this right here, you're looking at a doctor that has to sit. Data is information about a patient. It needs to be accessible so that that patient gets the best care. And I think the point that was made by Mr. Gadd, this is about people. This is about patients. This is about veterans and taking care of these folks. And I think the first question and change is tough. And I realize I've been through the DoD. I've been to Great Lakes twice. To look at that, obviously with Mr. Baker's accompanying me there. And it's not easy. Dr. Winstrup had to leave. He had to go just a minute ago, but he has served in the military in Iraq. And he stated that, yeah, you have a single sign-in, but 2 different entry templates, 2 pathways. It's difficult. It slows them down. I've said this all along. If it takes you, when you enter your record, if it takes the doctor 3 minutes for the thing to ramp up and get in, and you're seeing 25 people that day, you've just delayed your day 2 or 3 hours just because of technology. First thing I would ask, if these systems can't talk to each other, and look, there are smart people sitting down there, a lot smarter than I am about electronics. I'm fairly ignorant about it. But if the VISTA system, which is 25 years old, is the best technology we have, this is what I'm hearing, then that shouldn't be real expensive. And the first thing I would have asked is, if that's a system that's, quotes, the best, I would argue maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but if it is, how much would it cost to put it in? Just say, okay, DoD, we're going to scrap ours. We're going to go to one system so that when he goes in the military or I go back in and I sign up, I have my virtual record so that you don't have to worry about all that integration and all that with one system. And I think Mr. Michaud asked that question. How much does it cost to do it? I know it wouldn't be easy to do, but what's the cost? That's the first thing I would have asked. Because we're going to be sitting here 10 years from now saying it doesn't work.
It's part of the analysis that we are conducting with regard to the opportunity to use VISTA or a commercial capability includes both cost and schedule. So right now, I don't have a cost estimate for you to say how much would it cost to implement VISTA.
My time's getting short, but I think that would be the first thing I would want to know is that, look, we're going to pick one or the other. And we've said this on the committee now for 4 years. It looks like this integration, when it happens, and talking to Brad, to Congressman Winstrup, Dr. Winstrup, it's difficult. And I've seen it when we were up at Great Lakes a year and a half or so ago. Just pulling up a CBC and a urinalysis report is not an integrated healthcare system. That's pretty simple stuff. And what you need is one when that soldier goes in. And when I went in 40 years ago this month, I had the same electronic record that Thomas Jefferson had, a piece of paper. And it looks like that we're almost back to that now, where these 2 systems are not going to be able to talk. At least they can say simple sentences together, but not get all that information they need. And it looks to me like, and Mr. Chairman, I believe we're going to be sitting here 10 years from now saying the same thing. I honestly believe that. Can anybody sit here and tell me if I'm fortunate enough to get reelected for a few more terms and I'm going to have the same conversation when I have no hair on my head?
Yeah. I don't think we will.
Well, reassure me why, Dr. Woodson. Why won't we? Because we have been since 1999.
Right. I think since the point I was trying to make before about the advancement in technologies is that we've reordered our thinking about what an electronic health record is. In fact, standards for electronic health records are being published as we speak, and what the expectations of what it means to have an electronic health record has changed dramatically. And remember, most of the private sector is just getting into electronic health records. So the good news for the federal government is that we were in it early. The problem is we developed our own homegrown systems, and now we're at the place where we need to make them talk to each other effectively and serve the men and women of the military and the veterans appropriately.
Dr. Woodson, not to interrupt you, but my time's up. So I've got a series of questions I want to submit to you all, but I have found nothing in here today that reassures me that I'm not going to be having this conversation 5 years from now.
Congressman, I have to make the observation that in 1988, we had the best opportunity to do this when the DoD adopted VISTA through their contractor at that point. We diverged at that point, even though we started on the same technology.
Well, I think it's time to converge again, it sounds to me like, and get on. We diverged 24 years ago. It's time to find out, what does it cost? Can it be done? I mean, that ought to be fairly simple. How much would it cost? It's an older system. It's been upgraded, I'm sure, like any automobile or any other technology has, and with speeds and all that. And then go to one system, because I don't see this ever working if we don't. I yield back.
Mr. Baker, you please.
We are very clear from a VA perspective. We like the system. Our clinicians like the system. It is maintainable. It is modern. As you point out, if it is not the best, it is one of the best electronic health record systems out there, and it has one advantage over every other system. We already own it. We don't have to pay for it again. I think that's where the VA is in its selection of VISTA.